How to turn on the most important attraction mechanism? Who is your favorite supermodel or actress? Imagine her. I'm going to imagine Jennifer Aniston, who, despite being older, I still like. And no, you can't imagine the same person. Now, imagine that you have her at your side. How does it make you feel? Do you like it? I'll assume so, since she's your favorite. What would happen if you could make her feel everything that you're experiencing with equal or greater intensity? All we need to do is activate their attraction mechanism. How? Well, it's not height, although that helps. It's not muscles, although that helps. It's not being rich, although that helps. It's not fame, although that helps. Nor how many girls want us, although that really helps. So, what is it? It's what all of these features point towards: our status. I'm not talking about superficial status, although that helps, but about something much deeper. Women will not judge our status based on our material goods, how many drinks we buy them, or if we have a pretty face. But they will do it because of our behavior and how needy we act in front of them. Emotional investment. This is another topic that I touch on in my book, Seduction Simplified. However, I consider it important enough to talk about again. An element of personality that determines the attractiveness of an individual is their behavior and emotional need. It is said that in prehistoric times, women considered the personality status and hierarchy of their potential partners more, bearing in mind the need for protection and their chances of survival. The presence or absence of these aspects is measured by women through observation, more or less unconsciously, of male behavior. When we talk about behavior, we refer to how someone behaves in front of other people and also to how others behave in front of them. These two aspects are intimately linked, since in a certain way, others treat us as we allow them to. An important component of behavior is emotional need. In most cases, the attraction that a person's personality generates is inversely proportional to their emotional need. People with a high level of emotional need tend to be less attractive and invest emotionally in others much more than others invest in them. They prioritize the perception other people have of them over how they feel about themselves. They seek the acceptance of others rather than living life on their own terms. This attitude is subconsciously communicated through behavior, and a woman, or people in general, can intuitively tell when we are at our most needy. Not investing emotionally can be difficult when we are faced with a very attractive woman, either by idealization or when we have fear of losing her. In the same way, women can also be emotionally needy, although in men, emotional neediness is a pretty unattractive quality. It is not considered as undesirable a factor in women. It is important to note that women are equally attracted to men who demonstrate the potential to be successful, and those who have already achieved success. As examples, we could think of a university student with many skills who has not yet finished his schooling, a painter with little money who paints masterpieces, a talented dancer who has not yet achieved a starring role, or a tenacious businessman who is going through a bad spell. The power. Mario Luna refers to giving away power as something similar to emotional need. He says that when it comes to the mechanisms of attraction, giving away power is the main mistake we can make, and also the most difficult to see. Why? Because giving away our power makes us lose her attraction, but not her approval. This is where many men believe they earn points towards seducing a woman, but in fact do the opposite. Oh, I made her laugh 3 times. When what they are really earning is a pat on the back for trying too hard and giving her all their attention. That is giving away your power. Also, those who think of a perfect phrase beforehand don't realize that even before the game begins, they are giving away their power. Another way of giving away our power can be talking about things that don't interest us and trying to cling to whatever thread of the conversation she shows some interest in. All for the simple fact of maintaining the conversation, as if the number of words we said represented how soon we'd be in her bed. We have to remove her from the center of our universe. Quite often, when a guy finds himself in front of a woman who attracts him, he overreacts. For example, it is very common that if an attractive woman makes a disapproving face when talking to a guy, he immediately feels very down, or gets angry or upset. If she shows him a sign of her approval or touches him, then his face changes suddenly, as though he had just won the lottery. When she speaks without realizing it, he turns quickly to listen to her and not miss any detail. If she says or asks something, he is already responding before he even understands the question. Remember this: what's reactive is repulsive. That is why it is fundamental that we do not react more than her, because in an interaction, the person who reacts less often is the one who has more emotional power over the other. As Mario says, for women, our power is just as attractive in us as something like their ass or their tits can be to us, and the main ingredient of our appeal for them. Let me be honest. I've been studying seduction since 2008, and I've been with incredible women, and yet sometimes even I screw it up. Sometimes I give them my power by mistake. Sometimes it happens to Mario, and the same for 99% of men. It happens to all of us. It's something human. The solution is to accept it and move on. Don't aim for perfection all the time. So, with the next girl, this is how I propose we do it. Even if we only interact with her for a few seconds. Let's conduct an experiment. Instead of reacting like a scared mouse, release the lion you have inside and react less. How do we do it? Slow down your movements, as if you are almost in slow motion. Breathe deeply. Take time before responding. Keep relaxed and calm. No matter what you say or do not overreact. Don't change your behavior to get her attention. Don't beg for her approval. Don't do anything for her that she would not do for you. For example, follow her, buy her a drink, etc. An attitude that I like to project is showing them that they can leave whenever they want. I do not try to keep them talking more or try to get closer if they move away. When you go to say something, look her in the eye before speaking. If you don't have her full attention, then do not say anything, because even if your feet are pointing towards her and hers are pointing away from you, then you are giving away your power. Remember that beyond advice, true emotional independence is something that takes time to develop. It is a more complex internal process that in time will allow us to be truly honest. This is the thing. If we are in front of a girl thinking about, how do I impress her? How do I make her like me? What can I do to make her have sex with me? Then we are giving away our power and being needy. Unfortunately, this is what happens to most men when they talk to an attractive woman. This is definitely not the best thing to do. As I said before, this will happen if we think of her as being above us. Instead of asking ourselves if we are good enough to hook up with her, we should ask ourselves if she has something interesting about her beyond her sex appeal. Thinking highly of her only for her beauty will undoubtedly make us feel more nervous, act awkwardly, and probably make us feel that she is out of our reach. Thinking highly of her to the point of worshiping her is one of the main reasons why we give away our power. Every interaction with a woman is a way to improve our skills and ourselves. The aim is not to sleep with her, but to develop ourselves on a personal level. If we end up in her bed, it is because we are definitely on the right track. But then, should we take the initiative? Should we advance when it's the right moment? Of course. The idea is that you don't do it with a needy attitude. Mario says, "We enter the store to try on a pair of pants, not to buy them." If it's clear from the start that we want to buy them, that would be giving them our power. Let's try to interact with them from a position of power, without giving it away. And tell me, what differences do you notice? Did their gestures change? Did they begin to act like timid little girls that blush?